Well, I haven't uploaded anything today yet, well, except for the cat video. Right now I've been working on my El Camino, fixing the rust, and I just want to point out what property I'm looking at up in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, pretty damn close to North Carolina. Um, it's really in the hill country. And right now, like I said, I've been working on the El Camino. I got the parts for the gas tank, the float level. I've been fixing the rust in the floor and all that. This is going to be my rebel buggy for going up to Tennessee if we establish a base up there. And of course, we're going to have plenty of Jihadi Paradise tickets at this forward base up in north of the CSA, as we call them. But here's the property looking down. This would be the property up on the right here. Now, I didn't get it yet, okay, but I'm waiting for like a cash transfer. I'm going to try to do a cash deal and do a little negotiating first. Not too much extreme negotiation, but a little bit. Cash usually talks, right? Versus waiting for loans and stuff. But if this falls through, there's actually a bigger piece and another not far from there that's has public water and all this kind of crap, and it's a paved road and all that, and a little bit more money. But I kind of like this also because of the remoteness. You can see the view, which it'll have a southern exposure. So, but I'd imagine there's going to right now. These are recent pictures, so. But you can see it's a pretty piece of land, and also it's got a pretty view. Um, it's it's up there, man. It's up there. I mean, it's when you're talking. It's not too far from the Appalachian Trail, actually, on the border of North Carolina and Tennessee. And I probably, if all goes well, I'll have it within 2 or 3 weeks. But I figured I'd post this now because this is all I got to go on it, because I'm not going to be driving up there going back and forth till I actually um, have something physically there. But it may not, like I said, it may not be this one. It may be though. But if the guy doesn't come down just a hair on the price, and not asking a much of a discount, but just a little bit, I'll probably go for a much bigger property that is has public utilities, um, and there's a paved public road. It's near a cell phone tower. There's cable TV and all this other garbage. Less, but there's an attraction of this area being a little bit more remote. I know it's got electricity. I know it's got cell phone service. I know the road is not bad. I mean, it's not a paved road, but it's a well maintained road. And I'd imagine this place gets some snow because even though Tennessee doesn't get a lot of snow, much less on average than the country, but when you're talking, a few miles away from the North Carolina border in some of the hillier areas, and you're getting up into higher elevations, I mean, it's not going to be extreme like New England or something, but it's going to get some snow. There's no doubt about it. So, but yeah, and this is like a side road that comes in. Like obviously this would be pretty steep, but then again, this wouldn't be where you'd have your driveway access due to the steepness. But I also realize this side road is not a problem because, if there's no, it's actually a dead end side road, and you're not going to see any kind of traffic. You're not going to even see it from where a place would be located, because you'd be looking right over that road, and there's quite a bit of land all around there. And if you just go maybe 2 or 3 miles from here, you're talking mountains that are well over 4,000 feet. And, these mountains are like, I don't know, 2,600 to 3,000 feet. That's pretty high, but then, just a couple miles from there, there's like mountains over 4,000 feet. So it's up there in the hill country, that's for sure. But it's some pretty land. So, um, pretty likely, I can't say before I have it, but this is actually what I've been working on, and doing some communication with the people that are selling the land and all that type of stuff, and also working on my El Camino so I can start making trips up there. And I want that thing being reliable, even though it's almost 40 years old now. God, 40-year-old freaking car truck, man. If you start making trips like hundreds of miles in each direction, you're talking a round trip of like 1,200 miles or something. So it's better be reliable. 1,300 miles. It better be reliable. I've had it across country. I've had it in up and down the East Coast. I had it out to Utah. I had it out to Nevada. Uh, you know, but you know, it's 40 years old, so you never know. But I guess it's more reliable than some of the crap they got today in some ways. Uh, but yeah, it's a fairly cold place, I'd imagine, up here in the mountains, even in the summertime. But like I said, it might be an alternative base between Florida and the Blue Ridge Mountains of Tennessee. Might be both properties. Might have just both instead of one staying up in Tennessee all the way. But if it gets more and more crowded over here in Florida, it's probably going to be up in Tennessee, and maybe if I have an alternate base, it might be western South Carolina, Pinckney County, because Florida is getting a little crazy, man. This place is getting. I almost sense that Florida is going to get like commie California, even though there's a strong rebel southern presence here. Uh, there's a lot of people that come down here just to live the yuppie lifestyle, and that's not what I came down here for. I came down in the Dixie part of Florida, but the Dixie part of Florida is getting built up with a bunch of these, golf cart riding retirees that think they're some hot shit or something, and I'm like, I can't stand them, to tell you the truth. But not all of them are bad, to tell you the truth. But it's changed. It's changed a lot in the 20-something years I've been down here, and when I was down here, when I first came down here, I was on a dirt road, and I had about 3 or 4 miles of open fields and woods, behind me. And that's all built up with damn houses now, and I'm like, I'm not too keen on that shit. It's gotten a lot more crowded. This used to be the area they used to call Alton County. Now, it could be that this can happen in Tennessee too, because I think what's going on is people are getting fed up with certain places they're living in. They try to go to the place that's good, and then, they seem to go to a place that is good, and then as it gets a couple more people, then the other type of people start coming in. They say, well, this is kind of country, but it's not that country. Then they add those people. Then all of a sudden, the more people get in there, it starts attracting the wrong type of people. Then once it gets built up, then you're getting all the garbage. That's what I've noticed. And I'll tell you the truth, when I see some of these properties up in Tennessee and they tell me it's close to the golf courses and crap like that, I'm like, get the hell out of here. You think I want to play golf? Are you on crack? I mean, for crying out loud, I can't stand golf, and I don't like people that play golf, to tell you the truth. Um, I think it's a freaking stupid sport. If it's not even, I mean, it's asinine, man. It's just like these little dipshits freaking knocking around this white ball on a damn lawn someplace. I mean, I can't stand that shit. It's yuppie stuff to the max. I'm hoping it's got a lot of the good old boy redneck stuff up here, and I think it does right now. It definitely does. But I've noticed that in the last 15 years, even this area got picked up. There's not a lot of people here, but maybe there's a dozen houses, and it's not even in a town. It's out in a remote area, but there's probably a dozen houses near this area, and they're on pretty good sized freaking property, so they're not everybody's spread out pretty good. But I I don't know. I just hope it don't get like Florida. I can tell you that right now, because Florida's getting crazy, man. It's like I'm kind of glad the freaking real estate boom petered out, because this place was running out of land, for crying out loud, the way things were going with all the damn real estate speculation from 2000 to 2007. It was beyond belief. And maybe, maybe Florida's not going to get too crazy anymore. But right now, Florida's the third most populous state, not the most third most dense populated state, but the third most populated state. And I'm not necessarily in a densely populated county, but it's grown a lot since I've been down here, man. It's grown a lot. So I'm hoping that don't happen like this in Tennessee, man. You know. But one good thing is if we start having this mini ice age, and this part of Tennessee is more like northern New Jersey or something like that, and it's getting like 40 or 50 inches of snow a year or more with all these damn hills, that's going to keep a lot of people out. And it ain't going to make it that easy for me to live there, but I'd rather put up with the crap and deal with it and not have to deal with freaking bunch of freaking golf cart driving yo-yos coming down here with your little golf cart putters and little yuppie stings and restaurants and all this other bullshit. I mean, that's what you see down in Florida, man. A bunch of these idiots coming down from up north. Sometimes, I used to see that bumper sticker. You don't see it as much as anymore, but it says, if you love New York, take I-95 north. I agree, man. That was my sentiment. Because actually, when I came down to Florida, it was like a different country. I couldn't stand commie Nazi Jersey. And I was glad to get the hell out of that place. And wasn't up there very long, but you know, it's just that these jackasses keep coming down here. Now, originally, yeah, I'm from up north, but like I said, I got lineage from my grandpa coming all the way back to South Carolina. And I never really was on a page with all this crap up north with the phoniness and all that crap. I always liked, even when I was up north, one place I used to love to go to was New Hampshire up in Mount Washington. Hiked the trail with Tuckerman's Ravine. And I always liked the motto on that state, live free or die. It's a northern Yankee state, but it's a Yankee state, New Hampshire, that's got its head screwed on straight. New Hampshire and Maine, actually, they're the two states up there that they're okay. They're okay. They're more in line with the southern way of thinking. And, keeping the big money crap out of there and telling them how to freaking, what to do within the state. So, I don't know. I don't think this part of Tennessee is going to get messed up, though, because it's just too mountainous. And that's one of the things, you got to remember that, Tennessee's got a few different parts. And it's like you got a border that says, here's the state. Okay, so the state is Tennessee. You also got the mountains that are in North Carolina. They're all part of the same range. They go into Virginia, West Virginia. I think they even go into Pennsylvania a little bit. But then, if you really think about it, it's not so much the state that counts, but the fact that it's in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And you could be in North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, or whatever. And if you're in the Blue Ridge Mountains, you got a lot more in common with each other than maybe other people in other parts of the same state. Because I think the Blue Ridge Mountains is all about independence, and that's one of the things that's a major attraction to me. And I've been surprised how much freaking Florida's gotten built up, man. I don't know. I'm not sure about staying down here permanent, man, but it's like, you just do it one step at a time. And this is a nice looking area, I can tell you that. That's for sure. But if we do go into the mini ice age, like all these people are predicting, like what's his name? It's writing Dark Sun. I forgot that damn guy's name. He used to work for NASA. And there's a lot of Russian scientists that freaking predict this. Well, this part of Tennessee is probably going to be about as cold as, I don't know, maybe either northeastern Pennsylvania or probably colder than northwest New Jersey is right now. And it might be getting a good 40 or 50 inches of snow or more on average every year instead of like the 10 to 15 inches they normally get in a year, which is not much, You get a little bit, but not that much. But if you go just a couple miles from here, man, you're talking up those higher elevations, 4 or 5 thousand feet. Man, that's skiing country, man, big time. So, that's one advantage. If you want to be in the snow, you can drive maybe 5 minutes away and be in the snow, and you know you'll be in the mountains, but not. Because I think when you get up to about 4 or 5 thousand feet, I think the amount of snow they get there is something like upstate New York. It's quite a bit, and that's not far from there. So that's one of the attractions of getting this property. So, and of course I'll have my um, the vehicles that can do the job, like with the El Camino and the that little Suzuki SJ413. Man, they'd go if there's like they would do all right. We got to remember, I know there's a big difference of driving in freaking ice and snow on a hill versus being on a flat land. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, it might be pretty hard, man, because like I think if it does happen when we go into this mini ice age, this land is going to be, well, what's good about it? The other flip side is it's going to keep people out. It's going to keep people out because nobody's going to want to deal with it. That's where you got. That's why you got to go where the pussies don't go. You know, you got a golf course over there. It's going to attract these freaking weenies with the pink shirts and little golf shoes and all this other crap. And that's the kind of place I don't want to be, man. So anyway, if I get this, the first thing I do when I go up here and I go and I visit it, I'm going to take a big full sectional flagpole with me and plant a Confederate flag on the property and call it a day.